Yikes. It's cold out there. There's no kind of atmosphere. But we're all alone, so let's warm up together with a hot and steamy film. I know just the guy. Let's get some Pasolini. I'm Dr. James Morver, and in my dreams, someone's telling me a bedtime story. Welcome to my picture house. Ooh, a bit flirtatious, that introduction, wasn't it? Not surprising, because we are going with Pasolini, who is a flirtatious and very sexualized, very sexual filmmaker. And I've chosen Arabian Nights, which is, it's based on the Arabian Nights, the tales, 1001 Nights. And in terms of Pasolini's work, it is the third part of a loose sort of trilogy of films where he adapted sort of texts like this. He adapted the Canterbury Tales, which Tom Baker, the actor who played Doctor Who, he appears in one of the stories there. You can tell I was traumatised for life by that, can't you? Because he actually appears. You know what I mean by that, don't you? Yes, exactly. The Decameron, which was the second one of those he did. Or was it the first? Can't remember. The Decameron, I wasn't that big a fan of the Decameron. I thought it was okay, it was fine, but wasn't my favourite Pasolini film. And then there's this one, which is the third part, which, you know, I had a lot of difficulty finding this. I had a lot of difficulty, you know, trying to get hold of it. But I found out that the BFI had released it on DVD, so I bought myself a copy. Pasolini, for those of you who don't know, Italian filmmaker in the 1960s and 70s. He's known for his final film, Salo, or the 120 Days of Sodom, which his work, as it went on, got more and more and more explicit. And the 120 Days of Sodom is the pinnacle of that. It is so explicit that it defies explanation, it defies being reviewed properly, and it is very difficult to talk about. It has been called the most depraved film ever made, but, you know, anyone who's seen Pink Flamingos will know the end scene with the dog that's much more disturbing and disgusting, I found. Still, it is still a pretty depraved film. But we're not talking about that, we're talking about Arabian Nights, which I've seen bits of it. Not all of it. And from what I've seen, it's sexual, yeah. There's sexy bits in it. But it's not as explicit or, you know, erotically charged as some of Pasolini's other work. A friend did message me when I said I'm going to watch this film. I put a picture of the cover up on Instagram, on my Instagram stories. At JMMorph if you want to follow me. And he said, it looks like I'm watching porn. I mean, yes, the cover does look pornographic, but it's not a pornographic film. It's an interpretation, it's a representation of the Arabian Nights. which I should point out here I have never actually read. I've read the beginning of it about 10 years ago, but never read like more of it. So I have been told that as a book it is like sexy and erotic and all that kind of thing. So it kind of goes along with that. But let's see. It is in Italian, but this has an English language version on it on the DVD. It's got both. So I think, do I watch the Italian version or do I watch the English version? I think I'll go with the Italian to sort of, you know, practice my Italian skills to see what bits I can pick up. It'll be a useful exercise in that sense. But in the words of ABBA from one of their last singles, the sun is going down, it's getting dark, let's get on with it. Oh, it would not be our picture house without the wine, would it? And what have we got this evening? Well, the film is 1001 Nights, so the wine, of course, is 1000 Stories Bourbon Barrel Aged Zinfandel. It's another California wine. Batch number 90, 2002 vintage. It says on the back that they age these in charred bourbon barrels that once housed fine Kentucky bourbon, America's iconic spirits. No one alike. Each batch of our bold Zinfandel brings a distinct note of blackberry, spice and vanilla that deepens alongside clear, charred... I can't even read it properly. I need my glasses on. Blackberry, spice and vanilla that deepen alongside charred smoke and caramel from an unmatched selection of barrels. Yes, so that's what I've gone. It seemed appropriate. I think it's a red, this. It's bourbon aged red wine. How many reds have we had on this film club so far? The Apothic, that was really nice, that was a red. Was the first one we went with a red? Or was it a white? I think it was a red, My Fair Lady, right? I'm getting confused, let's just get on with the film. Okay, we all know how bad I am at getting corks out of the bottle. Go for a screw top next time, James. Oh no, oh no. It's a-coming, it's a-coming, it's a-coming. Woo! Come on, come on. Here we go, come on. Here we go, boy, here we go. Here we go, boy. Come on, come on, boy. Come on. Now we're gonna get the cork out of the bottle, yeah? This cork has to come out of the bottle. Woo! You know it's not quite enough. A little bit. Yeah. less said about the wine, the better. So let's talk about the film instead. It suffers from the same problems as the two other entries in Pasolini's trilogy of life, or so-called trilogy of life, which was this film, The Canterbury Tales, The Decameron. And that is that it outstays its welcome. It outstays its welcome by at least 45 minutes to half an hour. And it gets a bit dull, a bit repetitive. There's not really an overarching plot through the whole thing. It sort of flows and it sort of meanders. There's more of a plot than the Decameron or the Canterbury Tales. There's a framing device in there. It uses this story of a guy called Nuruddin, and I forget what his lady friend is called. He gets this lady slave at a market, takes her home, they fall in love, but then she gets like kidnapped and taken away, and she becomes a king in a palace. She's a woman pretending to be a man in this palace. She like becomes this king, and Nuruddin spends, the film searching for her, and they're reunited at the end. But that's an interesting sort of framing device I found. It sort of weaves the stories through this framing device. But it kind of forgets that for like 45 minutes in the middle of the film. It kind of just disappears for a big portion before like reminding you of it at the end. It's also not as steamy or as erotic as I thought it was going to be. Oh, it's steamy. It is steamy, it is erotic, there is lots of sex in there, but not a great deal, and it's not overly explicit with it either. It's definitely not pornographic. Although, saying that, there is a lot of male genitalia in this film. There is a lot of male genitalia, lots of pee-pee, lots of penis. I'm not complaining about that, but there's a lot of it. Overall, I enjoyed it. I don't think it's definitely not my favourite Pasolini film. I think it's better than the Decameron. Possibly better than Canterbury Tales. I think it just confirms for me that I prefer like Pasolini's earlier work, the black and white stuff he did, like the Gospel according to Matthew, Acatone, Mamma Roma, Uccellacci. I think it's called Uccellini, The Hawk and the Sparrows. Yeah, I really like that one. I think that is still my favourite Pasolini film. This one, I think it's a mid-range Pasolini film. It's not the film I would show to someone to introduce them to Pasolini. I'd definitely go more for one of the less explicit earlier films. I think Gospel According to St. Matthew actually is a much better introduction to Pasolini. That said, it was definitely worth watching. I had a great time with this film. Let's not mention the wine again. And Christmas is coming now, so woohoo! Have I got a Christmas film for you in December? No, I don't. Christmas films? Huh! I've got something much better than a Christmas film. Much better. See you next month.